2 months ago, St. James was the first domino to fall, and now we have two more Caribbean med schools busted for scamming their students. I think you're going to be shocked when I tell you the names of these two schools. But first, let me give you some background. Our story begins with a woman named Teresa Sweet. In 2006, she earned a bachelor's degree from a photography school in California, but she never got a job and couldn't afford the $100,000 student loan. At some point, Teresa realized my school totally lied to me about lots of things. At Teresa's school, the admissions counselors were commissioned salespeople. As she put it, they weren't paid to give me accurate information. They were paid to get me to enroll. A red flag she noticed way too late is that the admissions counselors never answered her questions in writing over email. It's always a phone call. Teresa said they were happily raking profits by defrauding thousands of students, and no one was stopping them. No one was alerting the public or prospective students. No one was there to help any of us recoup our financial losses. For Teresa and other students with federal loans, the United States Department of Education has a borrower defense to repayment program. In other words, if your school scammed you, they will forgive your student loan. A list of ways to qualify for the borrower defense would be if your school lied about their licensure pass rate or the employment rate of their grads, or they misrepresented certification or approval, accreditation. If they were dishonest about the transferability of their credit hours, if they misrepresented placement rates and salaries, and I would assume match rates, if they lied about financial assistance, they lied about admissions. In Teresa's case, the school advertised competitive admission. It was actually anyone with a pulse and a payment got admitted. They can't lie about educational resources. In Teresa's case, they advertised career service for alumni, and what they got was a person who would forward Craigslist job ads to alumni. So in 2016, Teresa filed a borrower defense to repayment against her school, and then she waited for 3 years and never got a decision. So she sued the United States government. 2019, Sweet versus DeVos. This case was eventually certified as a class action suit with 200,000 members. Y'all, that's 200,000 students who filed borrower defense to repayments and never got an answer. Initially, the lawsuit was suing the government for delaying responding to the complaints. But then the government was like, well, if the issue's just delay, we'll answer them all now and just deny them, which escalated the lawsuit even further. Now, if you're curious, Betsy DeVos was the education secretary under Donald Trump, who we all know as Ravi Bhumpalapor's best friend. Now, under Biden, the education secretary is Miguel Cardona. The case is now called Sweet versus Cardona. And last week, they filed a proposed settlement with the court. In this proposed settlement, there is a list. I call it the bad boys list. 150 schools are on this list, including 2 Caribbean medical schools. If you attended any of these 150 schools and filed a borrower defense to repayment, you were part of a $6 billion settlement that includes automatic loan discharge. Any money you've paid on that loan will be refunded to you, and they'll fix your credit report. Now, just to clarify, the winners here are students from the bad boy list of schools who filed a borrower defense to repayment before June 22nd and got no decision. or they filed a borrower defense to repayment that was denied since December of 2019. Now, the two med schools that you all probably know are owned by DeVos, AUC, American University of the Caribbean, and Ross, both the vet school and the med school. Shame on you both. Now you'll notice ZUSOM is not on the list. That's not because ZUSOM is a bunch of angels. It's because ZUSOM doesn't qualify for federal student loans. They don't meet the standards. But what we are seeing, you all, is that there are multiple routes to justice for scammed Caribbean medical school students. St. James doesn't qualify for federal student loans, but the Federal Trade Commission was able to take action against them and get refunds for scammed students. So, in the last 2 months, we have seen 3 Caribbean medical schools called out. And the scary thing is, all 3 of these schools are accredited. Ross, accredited by CAMHP in Jamaica. AUC and St. James, accredited by ACCM in Ireland. Like, what is going on? The US courts are like, oh, no, you don't. But the accrediting agencies are like, well, this is normal. No, it's not normal. Like, why don't these accrediting agencies have better oversight? So what do you all think? Who is the next domino to fall? Do you think Xavier is feeling a little heat right now? Yeah, I've noticed ZUSOM has not advertised their USMLE pass rate since the St. James decision. Do you think ZUSOM will eventually be added to the bad boy list?